Hey y'all, it's me again. I'm back for another informative video. Just gonna tell about some of the differences in some of the years of the 17B model. And then I'm gonna go over some of the modifications that are common, I guess, and just helpful. But first I want to thank you all for watching our videos and liking them and subscribing to our page. We do this just for fun. I mean, if you can tell from our videos, we never edit. We just flip the camera around when we want to show you something and flip it back when we want to talk to you. Nothing fancy, just sharing our experience and just some helpful tips for people who are looking into buying a camper, specifically the 17B. Because that is what we have. So I want to first start out with some of the differences in our 2022 model and then some of the older models. One of the main differences is the air conditioner. Our air conditioner, let me flip you around here. Ours is right there on the wall in the corner by our bed. Sorry it's messy. We had some family over not too long ago. But some of the other ones are right about there on the ceiling. I am not very tall. I'm like 5'5" or something. And I'm about 7 or 8 inches away from the ceiling, my head. So maybe it just hung down too much and that's why they put it on the wall. I've heard that during COVID, they like ran out of a lot of materials and things like that. So they switched to different things. I, for one, feel that even though the one that we have in the wall can easily be replaced because you can just go to the store and buy a small air conditioner and replace it, being in the center of the camper would probably be better because the kids are over there. The air conditioner is way over here. So even though my husband and I, are nice and cool in the summer, the kids were burning up and the air conditioner was just not getting to them. So we ended up, putting some little fans in their bunks and stuff. But that's one of the main differences. Another difference is the awning. Apparently, we have one of the bigger sized awnings. Some of the other ones might be like 6 or so inches shorter, I guess. I don't know how big of a deal that is for a lot of people, but it just seems to be one of the main differences. Another difference, let me turn you around. We have a window. Ours is frosted glass, so we can't really, see who's out there. But, we do have the window so we could, look and see. Sorry, I had to flip you around. A lot of the older models don't even have a window. People have done modifications to add a window because they really want one. There's, not a whole lot of natural light without that window. There are a few other windows that you can open, and then of course the rooftop air vent thing, but that gives a lot of natural light, so that is also a big thing that people either love or they hate. So the 2022 that we have does have that. Let's see, another one. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna flip it just yet. We have this Bluetooth speaker that was given to us by Camping World because our camper did not have a radio installed like a lot of the other ones did. Now we have done a few little modifications to our camper, but let me flip you around again. Right beside the air conditioner, in the little cabinets there, right about here-ish, was the installed radios that came in the camper already. And since ours didn't have one of those, they just gave us a Bluetooth speaker and we connected that to our TV, which you know, we hung a TV up. And so that is just another difference in the campers. Let me see. So yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of other differences. Maybe like the colors of the wallpaper and the woods and stuff like that, but those I think are the main differences. Some of them might have a slightly bigger fridge than what we have. We just have a slightly bigger than what you would get, I guess, in your dorm room or something. But as far as the radio goes, I prefer just the Bluetooth speaker than one actually installed, because 2 reasons. First reason, if it breaks and you have to replace it, it's probably going to be more expensive to fix the one that is in the camper than just to buy another portable Bluetooth speaker. And then second, being in that cabinet area, as you can see, we have it open, which, let me show you. Oh yeah, so there's our actual panel. We actually just popped these out because they were enclosed, and then you would have to open this and reach in over there to get what you need. So we just kind of punched out the panels because they were just held in by staples. So we still have them if we want to put them back up, but you wouldn't be able to punch that panel out because that radio was actually in the cabinet itself. So like I said, I prefer the one that I have. So that's pretty much it as far as I know or remember. That are the differences in the different years of the Coleman 17B camper. And the 17B it's 17 feet long, and the B is for bunks because it has bunks. So that's what the model is. So my family is a family of 4. It's me and my husband. We have a 13-year-old boy and an 8-year-old girl. And so this camper works perfectly until we add our 2 Labrador retrievers. So this camper is a little tight for the long term, which we spent a whole 3 months in it back when we didn't have a house, and it got a little tight. You forget how much stuff you need when you don't have a house. But we are eventually looking to upgrade, but for now, this for weekends and little trips and stuff like that is perfect for us. And for, you know, a family of 4 with smaller dogs or no dogs, or, you know, just a couple with some large dogs or something like that, this would be the perfect little camper. It's really inexpensive, and it's just a nice little camper. I think it's like $3,500 to tow. So we actually tow it with a Kia Sorento right now. We just got a new truck that has a higher towing capacity, but our Sorento did very well from Florida to Kentucky and down to Tennessee. It did really well. So it's possible. It's not recommended because it's right at the max, and if you've got anything in it, or if you've got water in the tanks, then it's over. But yeah, it's possible if you're in a pinch and you haven't quite bought a better vehicle. So now we go to some of the modifications. Some of either my favorites or just the most common or whatever. Bear with me, I have a list that I'm gonna look at so I don't leave anything off. So first of all, I'm gonna go outside because there's a couple of things. I'm gonna turn you around. If you see the little step stool inside there, we actually use that because we only have 1 step, and it's pretty high up there. A lot of people will go ahead and take that out and put in a 2-step foldable, you know, it folds in and everything, just because that step down when you take it, it's a little surprising if you're not prepared for it. Another one, we've added a little LED light here. It looks tiny, but it is so bright. So just adding a little light so whenever you go outside it's not crazy dark. People add those, they're not really Christmas lights or whatever, but they're the LED strips. They'll add those all, you know, under their awning and all around the camper and stuff like that. So there's all kinds of different light options you can do, but it's just very common to add an outside light because when you're camping, usually I like to go out and the campfire and everything, and so it's dark and you don't want to run into a bear. So anyway, hooks for the cabinet doors. Turn you around. We don't have any yet. I've been bugging my husband to get some because these cabinet doors, they don't stay open on their own. So people will get these little hook things to either hold them up there, or they'll get them, I don't even know what they're called. A lot of people will know what they're called, but you know, those hydraulic things right there that will hold them up as well. Because all three of these doors, they don't hold themselves up. And then of course you can see, like I've already said, one of my modifications was to take these panels out. We did have some of those little cube storage totes in there, but we've since pretty much taken everything inside the house because we don't need it all out here anymore. Again, those panels are really easy to take out. You just kind of beat on the edges with your hand or a small hammer or something, and then the staples, they just let it pop right out. And so if you ever wanted to put it back to sell it, or you didn't like it or whatever, you've still got those panels as long as you do it pretty carefully. Again, I showed you the little USB things, just little USB ports. There's 2 ports in each of those. The lights were already there. They came standard. But the little USB ports let you put the fans. It lets them charge their phones or their games or whatever it is that they have that they need power, that they can use a USB plug for. So just a little small mod there. And my husband actually has a video of when he installed that, because apparently he messed something up, and so it's showing his error. So that's in our stash of videos if you want to look at that. The shower. Let's go to the bathroom here. So the shower has this, just, you know, this curtain, and it gets really messy. If you actually use the shower, you know, we obviously put a little stand in there to hold our soaps and stuff. But if you actually use this shower, which we did quite a few times, it gets really messy. Water gets everywhere. So people will actually put like one of those track accordion doors. They'll install that. If we would have saw that while we were full-time, I would have definitely made my husband put one of those things in there. It's tight in that shower, but to save on the water mess and having to clean up the floor afterwards, it would have definitely been worth it. So the shower door would be a must if you are going to use that shower a lot. Most campgrounds do have, you know, bathrooms and showers and stuff, and that's what we used quite a bit, but it's still really, really good to have. We have command hooks everywhere, for the kitchen towel, for the bathroom towels, for just hanging decorative things, or the kids' backpacks, because again, we're homeschoolers, so they've got all their schoolwork and stuff. Excuse me. So command hooks are a must. I don't know if you saw our little, it's actually a shoe organizer, but we would put our soaps in there, deodorants. We actually had one on the other side, which it started ripping and tearing because it was plastic and not fabric like this one. But we kept some canned foods in on the other side opposite of the toilet. We kept our toothbrushes over here on this side. It has like 24 spaces or whatever, so we were able to hold a lot. And again, since we were living full time, we needed as much storage as we could possibly get. You can see right here, this used to have a panel. I've got the panel somewhere. I think it's right down here. But that used to have a panel. And so all that space right there was just wasted. So I had my husband take that down, and I've got some old pop boxes back there so stuff wouldn't fall. But I put cereal boxes and just all kinds of stuff up in that little shelf-like space because we needed more space. So again, that was a little harder to pop out because there's actual, like, this is metal. Sorry, I'm unfocused. That's metal, so that kind of ripped a little bit, I guess. And then we've still got that panel too, but there's no storage under there. He just took that off whenever he was working on winterizing the camper. So here, the sink. You do not have very much counter space at all in this camper. So this helps to add the counter space. I got this at Camping World. It's got little adjustable things here. So even if you have a different camper with a slightly bigger sink, you can move these and it will still work and fit nice and snug. So that's nice and snug. It can be like a cutting board or a cooking surface or, you know, whatever. And so that's just, I think it was like 25 bucks or whatever. It's nice, sturdy wood. And yeah, so that was a simple thing there. Up here, we currently have just a, you know, help keep the sun out or whatever. But we had these little like foam inserts, foam boxes or whatever you want to call it. We had those up there because we were staying in our camper during the summer, like right in the middle of summer. So hot, and that just helped to keep the heat out, keep the sun from blaring in on us. And there was one in the bathroom as well, and we did the same thing just to help keep some of the heat out of the house. And for a while before we got those little foam things, we actually used the visors for your car windshield, because they've got those reflective surfaces, you know, to kind of bounce the sun and the heat off. And we actually stuck those up there, and it seemed to work really well. It looked kind of chintzy, but it worked for the purpose that we needed it to. All right, so new mattresses. Oh my gosh, especially on the queen, the big bed there. It is not a standard queen, it's a queen short. So you could probably find them on Amazon. My mother-in-law, she's the one that was staying in the camper when she came to visit. They actually bought one, even though we had 2 extras from Camping World on there already. It still wasn't enough. You could still feel the plywood board underneath you. And so she bought another one from Amazon. So there's like 4. There's the actual mattress that came with, the ones we bought at Camping World, little egg, the egg foamy ones, and then the one that she bought from Amazon, all on there. And finally, it feels good enough to sleep on. So definite must spend a couple $100s on a nice mattress because the ones it comes with are absolutely horrible. As for the bunks, we just added some of those little egg crate, that's what they're called, egg crate foam toppers to those. And again, those are twin short, I think. So it was a little long. We bought it from Walmart, a little long on the sides and the end. And we just kind of tucked it under or cut it off or whatever. So, bad mattresses. You have to upgrade your mattresses. Let's see. We have the benches. The benches here under, you got storage under that plywood there. But a lot of people will actually remove the benches, the whole thing, the storage underneath, the cushions, the table. The table is, you know, movable. You can move it. And that actually turns into a bed. If you don't know how it works, it does turn in. The table will bend its legs in, and it will sit on these little braces here. And then you just put all the cushions down and it makes a bed. That's where our dogs sleep. That's why our things are broken here. They've scratched at them and stuff, which we don't care. It doesn't matter to us. But a lot of people will like put a futon there after they remove all that, or like a love seat or something. So if they don't want the table, you could have, let me talk to you face to face again. You could have some just little TV trays or whatever with your couches. We just haven't done that again because that's just the space for our dogs. And it is helpful being 4 people in here to have that table for, you know, if we have dinner, if it's raining outside and we can't go outside to the benches or something, we have dinner at the table. So there's a lot of stuff you can do with that area right there. And that's just 1 or 2 of them. Futon, whatever. One that I really saw recently is this area right here. Cut out like a window. And that would probably help a lot with having this corner air conditioner, because that window right there would get to the main spot that gets all the heat trapped in it. My poor son, he's the one that slept on the bottom bunk, and he was always just so hot. Yes, heat rises, and so the top bunk was also hot, but his area was just like he passed out one day because it was so hot in this camper, and he stood up and he got dizzy and he literally like hit the ground, passed out. So just anything you can do to get some airflow is a plus. And so if we ever have to stay long term again, or heck, I might even have my husband just do it because it's just a really good idea. Another thing people do, which would be contradictory to what I just said, putting the hole in the, turn you around, to putting the hole in the area here, is they will put these tracks up on the ceiling from like the bathroom door and over to this cabinet right here. That way it just kind of blocks off the kids area to the parents area at night or whatever. And then they will also, people will put it here on this strip basically all the way across, just like a shower curtain or something. And again, being that the air conditioner is either over here in this corner or up on the ceiling, if you've got other people in the other end of the camper, that's just, it's not going to help the airflow. So if it's just you all and you're just in this bed and you've got your air conditioner right here, you just want to hide your bed in the daytime or whatever the case, if that works for you, that works for you. But that is something that I have seen a lot, so I figured it should be mentioned. Let's see. Books, plumbing panels, a mattress, trapdoor, hooks. Okay, so I guess I could have paused you there, but some people who I guess don't use microwaves, I don't know who that is, we use our microwave religiously. They will actually remove the microwave and put like a full size refrigerator in there. So yeah, that's another mod. So if you use one of those toaster ovens more than you use your microwave, then I guess that's an option. The refrigerator that we have has this little bitty freezer right here. Don't trust it. If there's some food that you just want to keep extra cold, then put it in there, but it will not freeze from thawed, and it will stay frozen a little bit longer, but it will eventually thaw out to just really cold. So it doesn't freeze. Even though there's ice in it, it is frosted over. It does not keep food frozen. So, all right, I'm going to look over my list so you don't have to watch me just read it, see if I've missed anything, and come back and close out the video. All right, I'm back. I've looked over my list. I did miss one thing. Some people, again, this is usually just like a couple or a single person without any kids that have no use whatsoever for the bunks. They will completely remove the bunks. There is some storage under the bottom bunk, really difficult to get to. You need to like take off the mattress and everything because the plywood is really chintzy and it'll break if you try to lift it and there's any pressure on it and you do it wrong. But they'll completely remove the bunks and put like a wardrobe closet type thing, a shower curtain rod so you can hang up clothes, little storage area. Some people will like gate it in and use it for their dogs so they don't get everywhere else in the camper. I've seen that. I've also seen where people will just remove the top or remove it from here to here, and then they've got that back area. I'm so sorry you can't see, but they'll have that back area as like a shelf for whatever you want to put up there, and then the person sleeping on the top bunk doesn't have to hunker down and duck because they can't sit up without hitting their head on the top bunk. So if we didn't have two kids, that would have definitely been a great option for my son, so he could have some headroom, and then we could also have some storage at the top bunk. One thing, as I was showing you that I totally forgot to show you, a modification, is our ladder here. We've got a little rope ladder. We got this on Amazon. The hooks came differently than the ladder, so it was two different purchases. That was necessary because my daughter was just trying to get from up here to her top bunk, and it was difficult because poor thing, she's short. So we got her the little rope ladder, and that worked really well. Sorry about that. I paused you really quick because my husband didn't know I was doing this video when he opened the door and came in, and sometimes he's a little inappropriate. So since I told you that we don't edit videos, I just stopped and paused real quick. So let me continue. Other than changing the wallpaper or painting it, people paint it and the wood and everything. They'll put those little sticky tile things on there. So other than just little cosmetic things and decorative things, I believe that's probably the major modifications, you call them, to this camper, this 17B. I'm sure there are tons more out there, but those are just the main ones that I've saw, the ones that are most popular, people ask the most questions about, you know, what do you do with this space or whatever. So that's that. Now there are some things that happen. I will show you a few of the things that have happened in our camper, mainly due to our dogs, because again, they're two very large Labrador retrievers, and when we go somewhere, we'll leave them in here, and they get kind of rowdy. So let me show you. Back here under the bunk, they liked to look outside, and so, oh, don't stay up. You can see right there. That won't stay up. But you could see the screen was broken. They did that. They pawed at it. And again, these could easily be taken out. They're not holding anything in, but they've done that. The first week that we had this, one of our dogs started chewing on that, and that she got a little uncomfortable by herself, I guess. And then, sorry, I gotta get up on the bed for this one. And then there's this. I don't know if that's just from the hot and cold back and forth, that it just kind of pushed out. So it's just kind of separated there. But all of that stuff, hello husband, don't be inappropriate. All of that stuff you can get on a website called trekwood.com. So you can get the wallpaper, you can get the wood, you can get the flooring, pretty much any part inside and out that you need for any camper. You just put what year, what model, what kind of camper, what you're looking for, and you can find it at that trekwood.com. trekwood.com. So if something ever happens and you need to replace something, that's where you go. Thanks for sticking with me for 32 minutes, and I hope if you buy your 17B, you love it as much as we do. Bye!